Hello and welcome to Unearthed News, your source for D&D news and content going on in the D&D Multiverse. I'm your host, Alex. Before we begin today's episode, I just want to go ahead and urge you to hit that subscribe button. Not only does it help the channel grow, but it also keeps you updated on everything going on and stuff that could possibly be coming to your table soon. We're just going to go ahead and dive in today's episode right now, which is going to be talking about two new items, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, as well as D&D Celebration. It all spawned from this retweet that they did. I'll spare you from watching the video, but just to sort of keep things simplified, we have what is essentially a massive new rules expansion, which we'll dive into a bit, as well as a live Dungeons and Dragons event, which takes place on September 18th to 20th. If we go over to the Dungeons and Dragons website, you can actually see that they already have all their splash art and everything sort of covered here, which is interesting. I'll go ahead and I'll just jump right into the celebration aspect of it first, just because there's not really a whole lot to discuss there. All it really breaks down to is that on September 18th to 20th, we're going to be getting new news about Dungeons and Dragons, specifically also including Tasha's Culture and everything. You can actually register for this event. What it is it looks like it's going to be about a 2 hour session that you could partake in. You can pay to be part of an adventurers league. If you don't know exactly what that is, essentially it's think of like group games. Might not play with your regular group. They're usually from levels 1 to 4, and it looks like they're going to be covering the new one, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, over the course of the weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Plus, all the proceeds go to good causes, from what I've been seeing. It'll be a lot of fun. Plus, if you're not even really into watching people play D&D, at the very least, you clicked on this because you want to see D&D news, and that'll be there as well. The main bulk of what we're going to talk about today, though, is this right here, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Now, me as a DM, longtime DM, forever DM even, I'm always excited when I hear new rule sets, just because I tend to base a lot of my homebrew stuff or stuff that I tweak off of official rule set stuff. One of the first things people want to know, of course, always is there going to be more subclasses? Yes, right here. First thing they let you know, expanded subclasses, including for the Artificer, which I'm learning is almost everyone's favorite new class. I'm sure that's not going to be the only one. I don't know what sort of speculation you have. I'm sure they're going to bring a lot of stuff from Unearthed Arcana over here to Tasha's Cauldron and make it official, possibly with minor tweaks. So for those of you that might have been playing with some possibly broken content in Unearthed Arcana, go ahead and take a look at this one. Other than that, we have new character options. Of course, we have your new feats, you have character origins, and character racial traits. Always good to use, especially racial traits. I don't know how other people do it. Typically, when I start campaigns now, I tend to run grittier campaigns. I actually give my characters a racial trait to start off with, so it gives them a little bit of extra bulk, just because a lot of times the fights they're getting into are going to be pretty difficult, and the racial trait more than likely helps them out. A lot of them are combat oriented, handful of them utility based. They also mentioned group patrons. Now, this is something where they sort of advertise it as like if you're part of a criminal network or criminal syndicate rather, or you all worship the same ancient dragon, you might use this as a group patron, which comes with new perks and assignments. I'm hoping this isn't just flavor text. The way they're writing it with its own perks and types of assignments makes it seem like you could do something and in return you get a benefit. That'd be cool if there was like an official benefit or goal that a patron could work towards, because right now I believe most dungeon masters, when they deal with warlock patrons, they have the patron tell the warlock to do a specific task, usually something evil. Who knows, however you run your games. But if it's something official, hey, this could be a lot of inspiration for players. Of course, always new stuff as well. Spells, artifacts, magic tattoos, even. That's exciting, tattoos. But everyone always jumps right into spells. Magic tattoos, I'm sure they're going to serve some purpose. Probably some sort of permanency for spells. And then, of course, magical artifacts and items. We're going to be doing a video on that whenever this book officially comes out. And here's probably the one I'm most excited for, is the expanded rules options. They talk about in this video here, they tease a little bit about this whole sidekicks that they start off with, which they make it sound like it's an NPC that follows the party around that serves some sort of purpose, whether it's combat oriented or whether it's utility oriented. It hasn't really been decided, but I imagine there's going to be a lot of variety. No longer will you really have to use a DM character or just sort of have to make things up on the fly. This will give you a basis to start off with. They also talk about supernatural environments, natural hazards, parlaying with monsters, and even session zero guidance, which for new players, I'm sure that's going to be really helpful. Getting session zero is very important. A lot of people tend to just sort of skip it, or I'll just meet up at the same time, and then it's awkward when people show up to the table that have same sort of builds or ideas. Because who doesn't want two Gloom Stalkers in their campaign? And then lastly, they talk about a plethora of puzzles rather. Um, they already have rule sets for making traps and puzzles, so this ought to be interesting just because I'm sure it's just a further elaboration, probably new like pre-mades that people can jump into. Um, it's all exciting. Like I said, I'm most excited for the expanded rules options. I'd like to hear down below what you're most excited for, what your sort of speculation is. What are you hoping to get out of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything? We're going to know officially on, what is it, D&D Celebration, September 18th to 20th. Hey, hit that subscribe button. You're going to find out more about that when it comes around, just for any sort of news coming from there. But the official release of the book here is actually November 17th, 2020. Retail price $49.95. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at your local game shop, or other retailers like Barnes and Noble if they're still around. But that's really about it. Yeah, again, the whole point of Unearthed News here, get the news to you quickly, give you a little bit of speculation about it. Let's all get hyped together. Go ahead, again, comment down below what you think you're most excited for or what sort of you speculate is coming from this. And then additionally, if you liked what you saw today, you want to keep up to date on Dungeons and Dragons news, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you all come back again. But that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you all for watching, and take care.